Today is Tuesday, Parashat Vayigash. Parashah of this week, when Yaakov finds out that Yosef is still alive, the pasuk says, "Vatehi ruach Yaakov avihem," and the spirit of Yaakov, their fathers, came back to life. What does it mean to say Vatehi? It was alive. And our sages explain that all the years that Yaakov was separated from his son Yosef, and all these years that he didn't really know what happened to him. Was he devoured by an animal? Yaakov was very sad. And when he was so sad, he could not have divine inspiration. Only when he became again into a state of mind of being joyful, when he realized that his son is still alive, and now he's no longer depressed, he's happy, then he's no longer sad, then the divine inspiration comes back into him. And from this we learn a great principle, that in serving Hashem, in being inspired, in having a true connection with divine inspiration, and in doing Torah and mitzvot, joy is so important that to the extent that even such a great person as Yaakov Avinu, one of our forefathers, who was Behir Sheba Avot, the chosen amongst the three forefathers, when he was in a sad state of mind over the separation from Yosef, the divine inspiration was not there with him. And it came back only when he came back into a state of mind of being joyful. That is one of the lessons from this parasha. But there is another lesson also that is a very important lesson for all of Am Yisrael at any given time, any generation, any time in history. The pasuk says, "Ve'et Yehuda shalach lefanav el Yosef leorot lefanav Goshna, vayavo arza Goshen." It says here in Yehuda, Yaakov sent Yehuda lefanav as an advancement, so to speak, to Yosef. Leorot lefanav Goshna, and the pasuk leorot is to show, to guide, to show, but leorot also has to do with, our sages explains, with establishing places of Torah learning, and places where Torah would come from, where the guidance of Torah would be from, and Torah education. Here we see a kind of a prototype for the success of any Jewish community. The family of Yaakov, the 70 souls, were going to be going sort of into exile, into Egypt, leaving the land of Eretz Canaan, and they're going to be establishing a new place, a new community in a foreign land, in the place of Goshen. What would an advanced man be typically interested in many situations? People would say, well, places to live, where do you earn a living, whatever things that people would want to be concerned with as moving into a new place, a new area, and moving, in that case, the whole family of Yaakov, all 12 tribes and their children. Well, the first thing that Yaakov gives as an instruction, make sure that you have a place for learning Torah. And we've seen that throughout history. Communities that made sure to have good Torah education are communities that have persisted, that have continued to grow and flourish. Communities that were not so careful about having good Torah education for the children, those communities over time, over a couple, 3, 4 generations, have assimilated, have diluted themselves, and to some extent have even disappeared in terms of Jewish identity. And very important lesson for every community to make sure that there is Torah education for children and for adults also, because when there is Torah education, then that's the best insurance policy for the eternity of Am Yisrael. Baruch Adonai le'olam, amen ve'amen.